What is up, you guys? It is Maddie here, and today I'm bringing you my Payday 2 beta impressions slash opinions video. I've had the beta for a few days now. My buddy Noah picked it up a little bit ago, and he sent me a beta key, and I haven't had the time to really sink my teeth into it, but I finally did, and I left very impressed and with a big list of pros and a very small list of cons for this game. So let's hop right into it. This is quite a step up from its predecessor. What stood out most to me compared to the last game was the level design. There are plenty of ways to tackle your situation that fits the players who prefer, the stealthy option, or the players who just want to slaughter everyone and get their money. Now, as the level design isn't as good, it reminded me a lot of Dishonored, where, I could enter through this building here, or go up here, or I can do this or that or whatever. It reminded me a lot of Dishonored in that form, where I had the choice on what I want to do. Put the choice in the player's hands, which is a great option for any game out there. Next is this is the most important thing. This is fantastic for all co-op players because this is available on the PS3, the Xbox, and the PC and all those systems. So this is fantastic for all co-op players. Planning out your heist in the correct moment to strike is always good fun, such as deciding who attacks what store or transferring bags of stolen goods from one friend to another to keep the pace more efficient. Also, bringing out balanced yet different classes makes each player in the heist matter. One class may specialize in stealth, beginning your operation, while one may be good for when it gets hairy, and you may need a little extra ammo or health, as there will be police assaults right on your ass. The next thing is that this game has a lot of flushed out customization. There's tons of stuff to unlock for your loadout, whether it be primary and secondary weapons, armor, tools, and so on. All guns feature lots of attachments you can unlock as well. Whether your plans are to keep it silent and quiet, use a silencer on your gun, or to beef up your assault rifle. You can also level up your preferred class of choice with a decent skill tree, making each class special in its own right, like I mentioned before. You also have the ability to change your mask, which is also a nice touch. Makes your guy look more sexy and swaggy. I'm sorry, I said swaggy. Anyways, for a game that will cost you about $30 to $40 depending on what system you purchase it for, it's a very pretty game to look at if you ask me. Character models are fairly detailed, as are the civilians. It's not something you see often. The buildings look good, the stuff inside the buildings looks good. It's a very good looking game for the price you're paying here. Next is the difficulty factor. I really loved how when I tackle the harder mission, I'm rewarded for it. It gives me a great sense of accomplishment when I finish that heist on the overkill difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty if you did not know. And after I finish it and I get in the van and the screen comes up and I just lean back and watch the cash roll, and it's a great feeling. It's not too overwhelmingly difficult, but it is quite difficult. Next is there's multiple modes that you can tackle in this game, whether it be just a normal heist and you're stealing for yourself, or you're stealing for others, such as like bags of jewelry or cocaine, or there's multi-day missions where you have a certain number of missions to complete, such as like making meth and then transporting it. There's lots of things to do in this game, so it doesn't get stale too quick. Next is that the maps itself are very cool to play on. I know I said level design, but the maps themselves have to look cool. It can't just be a bland building one after another. You could be on a street littered with stores, or there can be banks, or there's a nightclub level. In the retail game, there will be many more maps and missions to tackle, so we don't have to worry that since I only listed 3, that you might not think there are quite a bit of them, whether or not, whatever. Another thing that I was actually extremely impressed with is that for a beta, I was surprised I didn't see any bugs at all. The only thing I noticed was that the ammo counter would sometimes mess up. For example, I have 19 bullets left when after I reload I only have 2. This is something that can be fixed after a launch day patch. I'll reload my gun. It'll say like 17 out of 19. I'll reload and it'll be like 2. I sound like an idiot now, but you know what I mean. It would get messed up. The last thing that I really liked about this game was the AI on your team. Me and Noah, we played together, and almost all the time the extra AI partner would accompany one of us wherever we went, so we always had backup. This made up for the fact that we didn't have 4 players, and it worked very well. The AI will revive you when you're down, it kills enemies, it manages to do a great job of staying alive. As for enemy AI, they kind of just run at you and shoot, but let's be honest, would we rather them post up outside the store and wait for us to come out? I really don't think so. I'd rather them run at me rather than just sit out there and wait for my fucking drill to finish going into the safe and whatnot. But that's about the end of my pros list. A very big pro list. Lots of details there for you guys who haven't played this game yet. Now we have a very short negative list of, I think, like 4 bullet points here. This is not for the story-driven player or the solo gamer. Though it can be played alone, it's not something I recommend. In fact, since I started off this game by myself, it's after playing co-op on it, I could mark it down as just downright boring and annoying to play alone. Moving 6 bags of jewelries all by yourself, just no thanks. That's ridiculous. That's not fun at all. That's just monotonous. This leads me to my next con, though, for this game. There aren't any AI commands from what I could see. If I had the ability to play by myself and tell my 3 AI companions to each pick up a bag of cash and take it to the van, this would make my life easier and add a layer of depth to the game. Perhaps this has already been added and I don't even know, but from what I could see, this wasn't there at all, and that really upset me. Um, Back to the enemy AI that I said I didn't like, it can get a tad overwhelming. I didn't like how on higher difficulties I'd have to try to lay out like 7 cops just because they all ran at me at the same time. If I'm alone, this is dangerous and it encourages teamwork, but sometimes it is a tad overwhelming and it's a little annoying. 7 armored cops running at you and you have to shoot them all and you can only kill them by headshots. It can get a little frustrating. But like I said, it does encourage teamwork, so it kind of has a plus to it, but it's overall a little annoying. And my final complaint for this game is that the price of some attachments are just downright baffling. Like $58,000 for a folding stock on an AK. The reason it's more so ridiculous is because on like a normal heist on a high difficulty, like 20K is a very good payday. The money you make after everything you've stolen is calculated out and your payday comes in. That's what money you can spend. Compared to, let's be realistic here, I doubt this pricing is accurate compared to real life attachments you buy. But that's my pros and cons for the beta on PayDay 2. If you have any questions, something I didn't answer in this video, be sure to leave a comment down below. I highly encourage it. I'll be sure to answer it. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.